everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we talk about my favorite subject, one of my favorite subjects. I also do love football very, very, very much, particularly college football, but I equally love comic books. And we're going to be looking at JLA number 10 from 1997, written by Grant Morrison and pencils by Howard Porter. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love sharing them with you. And like I said, this is going to be pretty good. This is Grant Morrison starting to hit his stride. So we've got basically our. If you take a look here, these are not the JLA members you're used to. These are evil members of the JLA, so or evil copies, and we'll see more. You can follow me on Twitter at Art of J Velez, Instagram jvelez622. I also do have a Pinterest, and my Pinterest not just has my art, which I post in there regularly. I also have a lot of pins from different artists. So Jim Lee and David Finch, Bill Sinkovich, Walt Simonson. So give that a check. And that is Jose V2163. So we are now going to get to our credits here. And we see in some town, suddenly this man is pulverized, and we're seeing this destruction. It just says here, everything you've done, we're basically going to undo. And we have our purplish evil Justice League here. And this is our one of Grant Morrison's better story arcs here, Rock of Ages. So, and this is the prologue. Good double page spread here, kind of giving you a big wow factor. So in the JLA Watchtower, Aztec, who's a new member of the JLA, this is a character created by Mark Miller and Grant Morrison. He unfortunately did not have a very long debut series. Sees that there's something going on at Star City, and John Jones is going to coordinate the League to head over there. So we got Batman and his super bat plane here. It's pretty cool. We got Green Lantern, so off they go, seeing the doppelgangers here. We got Green Arrow's son, I think his name is Connor Hawk. Aquaman here. So Green Lantern was dead during this time, but of course it's comic books, nobody ever stays dead. Aquaman's fighting Aquaman. Green Lantern's fighting Green Lantern, etc., etc. So there are holograms made of hard light, so which I don't know whether or not they can really make hard light, but hey, it's comic books, don't overthink it. I'll have to research whether or not they can do that. So, and here's the evil Batman. I love that grin. So they deployed a laser that seems to have done part of the job, because Batman is super smart. So, and looks like the light hologram crashes into the ground. So it looks like we have these heroes are being controlled by others, and this is of course the Joker here. So and these are the ones controlling the League. So Joker had Batman. So I believe this is Luthor here, but I don't remember some of these villains. So I have this in the individual issues, but I haven't read this in forever. So, there's too many, eventually it's like, what's the point of collecting all these comic books? Because you sometimes only read them once, and then that's the end of it. But I did read them an awful lot when I was in college. So I did enjoy them quite a bit. And Superman's going to absorb him. So during this time he had these powers, and he was able to absorb energy, and so and here's Green Arrow. It's his last name. It's Connor Hawk, so that's why I said Hawkman. So my apologies. And so the Martian Manhunter hologram is heading toward Green Arrow. Just has the one Green Arrow, and Green Lantern here is going to help him. So all these arrows then deflect. The holograms are dispersed, which Batman tells him good thinking. So now we're back in the Watchtower here. There is like a strange energy field that is approaching the Earth from all sides. So he's going to go to investigate what is going on. He's using the White Martian aircraft from our previous. We have JLA covered, and I have a playlist with them. So if you've missed any of the other videos, feel free to check them out. So Connor's here kind of like acting like his dad, because they couldn't stop all this devastation and pointless madness. So they're all very proud of his reaction. So they deduct that the beings, or the hologram beings, were being controlled by broadcasts. So they're going to be sending Green Lantern to see if he can find out where the broadcasting was coming from. So great. I like this panel here. Sort of a splash page, but not quite. And he can't see. There is a satellite there, but he can't see it. So, and of course the villains are looking from the inside. And the reason they can't see is they have an alien friend that is telepathically rerouting the visual inputs. So he can't see anything. So, and they have here this Injustice gang with Luthor in command. And looks like they have another set of the Revenge Squad coming. So I truly Luthor, he is the Batman of villains. That's why he's such a good enemy for Superman. So Luthor basically tells them that they're going to follow the principles of corporate strategy to the fight. You get the right people behind him, a strategy, and, they're just going to be able to win everything under his leadership here. And then we have here an object that looks like a heart with a blue flame on it. So we're not privy to what it is at this time yet, but also just looking at this here, it I wonder if the hand is in the wrong place, or no, I think this is his thumb. He's had got it behind. Never mind. It just looked like that he had the wrong hand in there. But so they're basically gonna do a corporate takeover of the JLA. So John arrives and sees like some, looks like a structure of some kind, and he was gonna broadcast an image of it, and something's up. This thing here is attacking him, and sort of disables him for a moment. And they're talking to him. He tells him he's okay, but he's not feeling himself. You can see tears are forming, and says, "Terrible, so terrible, it's coming." And heading toward Earth, but we right now at this point don't know what it is. So this ends issue 10. So now we're gonna go to JLA 11 with another great cover. The blue Superman, you know, they were just trying things to try to make their heroes cool, but, it wasn't always working. So, Luthor predicts that they are, they should be able to beat them, the League, within 3 days here. He feels that his rivalry with Superman has reached a natural conclusion, and he's going to destroy Superman's basically superhero team, because always it's always about Superman with Lex Luthor. And so here we have our villains here. So this is Cersei, Mirror Master, Joker, of course, Ocean Master, and looks like Firestorm, but don't know who exactly that is. So this is Dr. Light. So he's probably the one responsible for the holograms, and with most likely Mirror Master, who controls these things. I love this Joker with behind Luthor, who's still carrying that crystal heart here. So Joker performed a evil prank here, in which the children, there was looks like 3 children that were killed, and he rigged the coffins so that the children are sent flying like jetpacks, and he starts to laugh. Luthor hits him and says it's not funny. It's the regrettable casualties, but it's not funny. So basically here, everybody just sort of goes away with, or decides to sort of follow Luthor's idea. So Ocean Master says they're going to use a section of the Indian Ocean, but we're not revealing what it is yet. Luthor says that glad everyone's showing initiative, but don't show too much. They're here because he can use their particular talents, and he can guarantee Batman gift wrapped. So he gives them their instructions, and off they go. And in 3 days, like I said, they'll all be destroyed. So the JLA watchtower here, everybody is suspecting that the villains are behind. They just don't know who. Although Batman tells them that most likely who it is all the major players here, and they said Aquaman here that the evil Aquaman, another one, was seen in the Indian Ocean, and they are going to, Superman and Martian Manhunter are going to see what's kind of going on. So he also says that there was an explosion above the Mojave Desert, a huge bang. Batman thinks someone is taking air, which caused the boom as the air rushed in to fill that out, because nothing was destroyed, so there was no actual bomb. So, and then also that water has now appeared in the San Bernardo, so they believe that's from the water that had been also that they had planned. So they found the water. So off they go. Martian Manhunter says that even though Green Lantern's a rookie, he's doing really well. So is Flash. So. And once again, we have Aztec, but he really isn't doing much. So this shark's going to eat him, gets an arrow, because that's what Green Arrow does. I love this as Green Lantern trying to drink up the water. And so they ask Superman and Martian Manhunter if they see anything suspicious, which they have found here, the satellite. And so someone goes in, and it's Metron from the New Gods in the Mobius chair. And so Aquaman says he'll handle it. They go inside, and they said that they think that this is also a hard light hologram, but the oxygen is real. They can breathe. So that's where that oxygen is going. But this here is bending to the Joker's will. So, things aren't quite as they seem. And so things are blowing up, and they see the Joker's face. John converts his mind to be able to think like the Joker, to be able to see if they can get out of this situation. It's just kind of cool, just the trying to draw inside the Joker's mind. And then here, that's kind of funny, taking a picture with the shark. Green Lantern and Green Arrow are talking about, what it's like being rookies in this. And then, of course, here's Cersei, who is pretty much going to do some evil scheme here. She's going to pass herself off as a psychiatrist and begin basically preying on their insecurities and try to turn them, as she pretends, like I said, to be a psychiatrist. So who Cersei is, just in case you're wondering, she's an ancient immortal sorceress with incredible power, and she's one of Wonder Woman's antagonists here. So Green, as I said, they're kind of playing on each other, and then Green Lantern's gonna leave, but Green Arrow is going to stay. And Luthor is in his quarters here with that little heart, and he's just trying to give it a closer examination. And it resonated in sync with the thought patterns of an alien in LessCore's basement. So there is somebody else still in there that hasn't shown up yet. So in a bar here in New York, a person's walking. This is a great panel. This is really cool. Just oh man, very creative. I think as you can see, someone's heading toward this this individual here called Eel O'Brien, right here. Who this person introduces himself to Matches Malone. Matches Malone is basically Bruce Wayne outside of Batman in disguise. So, and of course, this is Plastic Man, and he needs him. So, they need to have a little talk. And we're back in the satellite, which is being controlled by the Joker. So, they're making their way through. Of course, there's Luthor. Now, for some of you who know DC comic books, you know that this is the alien that Luthor has been referring to. I believe he's called Gem, Jemm, and there was a limited series with him in the mid to late 80s. So they see the out. Superman doesn't think that it's quite that way, but he finds a CD player. Superman uses his X-ray vision, and it says here, "Dear Superman, your optical scan triggers the bomb," and suddenly, boom! There goes the satellite. It's going to be kind of hard to keep some of these videos simple because there's just so much going on. So I do apologize. I try to keep the videos short, but I've been trying to do some more longer stories. So I'm going to see if I can do them where I can. But I am, So Metron here is screaming something about the ultimate computer, and he's demanding that the JLA helps him. So, very, very cool. So we're dealing now with the new gods, because everybody always has to, you know, go with the new gods because they're cool. So, events. What we have here is the Philosopher's Stone, which is quite powerful. They're afraid of Darkseid getting this before, the New Genesis is trying to get it before Darkseid does. So, Metron's using this mother box to convert their infantile computers into something that can be used, so that they can find it. And we believe, of course, now that that's what Lex Luthor is that Philosopher's Stones. So basically, Flash says, Aquaman says, there's no time. They're opening a telepathic channel to John Jones, which Gem is using here, and they're rerouting, and says everything's fine. Metron tells them that if Darkseid gets this, it's basically, how do I say, like Thanos finding the Infinity with the Infinity Gauntlet. So they gotta find it before he does. So And of course, here come our villains, or here are our villains here. He's impersonating the Martian Manhunter, letting them know that it's just fake and that Superman and Martian Manhunters are going to join the others. And Luthor is going to send warheads to the beamed into the JLA tower. So he told them that within 3 days everything was going to do. So now we're at the Batcave. So we can see the Matches Malone thing here. He's returned and says that he is pretty sure that the reformation of the JLA has inspired their enemies to assemble their own, and he knows Lex Luthor is the one calling the plays. And he thinks that if it's Lex Luthor, then Bruce Wayne is the best to counteract Luthor's schemes. This is again why I believe Lex Luthor is perfect villain for Superman. So basically, Luthor here doesn't know that, since he doesn't know Batman is Bruce Wayne, that he knows how he thinks. And so we are now at the end. Thanks for listening. So now we're going to go with issue 12. So we're not going to do the entire Rock of Ages because I like to try to keep these videos within a manageable thing. So we'll do the first 3 parts today and then the last 2 parts in another video. And here's a cover of the JLA appearing to be shrunk and about to get trampled here. So we got the same creative team. And so, as we know, we left off with Bruce Wayne pretty much developing a counter plan. So Green Lantern arrives, and this is kind of from his point of view. So he's gonna tell him something, most likely what happened with Cersei. But they have their own problems, and so they kind of explain to him that Metron has approached them, asking for their assistance in tracking down the Philosopher's Stone so that Darkseid doesn't get them. And then he is creating these little baby mother boxes that are going to be connected to the mother box across all creation. And so you can see here that Aquaman is talking to Aztec. He's going to be staying behind because, you know, we got a new member, but we don't know what the heck he does. Like I said, I actually have his, he had a 12 issue, he had an ongoing series, but it was canceled after 12 issues. It was written by Grant Morrison and Grant Morrison and Mark Miller, but it ended up getting canceled. So Aquaman and Flash and Green Lantern all go through, and like I said, this is Green Lantern's hands. Everything's going. He says he feels like he's being abducted, and that now he's talking to somebody. We don't know what, but he feels that Metron tricked them and something bad's going to happen. So he's been telling the story to this individual here. So he's basically asked what happened, and he's like, well, first I was in one world and fought this guy here, and then another world, and this, and then another one, and another one, but everything was green. So he's just said it felt strange. Then another world. So he's just, this world, of course, more deadly. So he's just being transported, and now he's here where this individual is. And he tells him, welcome to Wonder World. That's where he's at. So He reminds me of oh, what's that Disney? Oh, there's a Disney movie with the white plastic guy. Um, anyway, so what this Wonder World is, it's a theocracy, and it's the last outpost of rational space before the eternal dark. Sort of like I don't know, a limbo, I would say. And so we are now. I like this. Things are bigger here. Grant Morrison's writing, I tell you, my man, if you're, it's strange. You have to read it so many times. So it is a his stories are so fast paced and so there's so much going on. So now we are in the Injustice Society's headquarters here, and we see Joker kind of taunting Gem. Joker asks if he has you know, he has plans if the alien there got out of being brainwashed. He's just giving him a cigar. Luthor's a little bit preoccupied because he thinks he really killed Superman along with the Martian Manhunter. He's just can't believe it. And it was, of course, a gag cigarette or a cigar here. And it just sees that the satellite went up like the sun. Of course, Superman and the Martian Manhunter are alive. And he says he can't telepathically locate Flash, Green Lantern, or Aquaman. And Superman says they'll have to take care of themselves because they have to deal with the gang first. They're going to take one last gasp of the oxygen that is escaping and go back to Earth. Good, strong panel here. Love the composition. So they grab a chunk of what appears to be part of Luthor's satellite. And so they're going to rendezvous with Batman. And I love it. Superman almost seems like a robot here. So Luthor's sensing that the alien is uncomfortable and he's not being pacified by the stone, which of course probably has to do with more with the Joker, and asks if they're ready for the finale, which Joker replies yes. And Dr. Light says Cersei's arrived and she recruited one of them. And so Cersei arrives and Green Arrow comes with her. And so he says that Green Arrow's gonna join them. So Luthor wants him to prove himself. He wants codes. Green Arrow says he'll give him the codes, but no one gets hurt. That's the deal. So, and now back in headquarters, we've got Aztec and Metron. Metron's about to go back. Aztec's like, when do the others get back? Which I don't think he even answers. So Lex Luthor calls the Watchtower. Turns out he's been a mysterious benefactor for Aztec, without Aztec's knowledge. And he did it so that he could have basically an inside man into the Justice League. So he basically tells Aztec, he paid for his training, have a man on the inside. If Aztec refuses, he'll destroy the Watchtower with a set of atomic weapons. Lex Luthor, tells him even though he doesn't believe in the Shadow God, he does. And if Aztec refuses, he will die knowing he failed in his duties. So it is a pretty cool costume, though. I will grant that I think it's a pretty cool costume. So so Luthor thinks he's got everything under control, and he's gonna have ultimate victory. So on Wonderworld, Green Lantern was told that his friends are here, and he's being guided through the museum district. He tells them about what he saw in the graveyard that led, for all these things. So he's gonna take him to the theocracy to talk to basically the leaders. So, and here they are. So they are using this wheel of time, I believe, a hyper wheel. So each one tells them about all these different worlds that they all were in, and they probably shouldn't have trusted Metron. And then these are the leaders, and I guess that being was called Moat, was the name of the little white dude here. So these are the new arrivals. They say this is the theocracy, who are huge people. They bid them welcome. So they introduce themselves. This is where I tell you, Grant Morrison gets. He. I don't know. I'm trying to give you the gist, but his. He is quite the writer. So many. So weird, which makes it so cool at the same time. I just love the descriptions that he uses. Like, we patrol and defend boundaries of the known universe. Beyond, there is only eternal abyss, or beyond, there is only eternal abyss and the anti-sun. I mean, who who does this except Grant Morrison? Anyway, he invites them to join them, but you know, they're gonna talk for a moment, and he tries to interrupt them, but Aquaman's like, "Excuse us, we're talking." So, anyway, Kyle is going to let them know that what happened during some of his adventures. So Green Lantern tells him he met a being from the far future called Our Man, the Master of Time. And he told Green Lantern that unless they affected the outcome of the JLA's battle against the Injustice Gang, the Earth would be turned into a slave camp. Pretty much. So, and Green Lantern lets him know that Metron tricked him. I love Aquaman here saying he knew it. So they asked that the theocracy to help, but they said that they can't leave. And so they offer that there is only one way to get back, and that's using that hyper wheel. That's just so cool. How little, or just the sense of space. So they're gonna use that hyper wheel basically to get back home. It's really the only thing that can help them. That hyper wheel is an infinitely more advanced version, basically, of the cosmic treadmill which the Flash used, and so he is basically going to run and see if he can get everybody back in time, or back to where they're supposed to be at. They basically use the hyper wheel to flash or use to connect into the mother box. So in the Batcave, Batman's talking to Mirror Master. He's gonna basically pay him to spy for them. Superman doesn't agree, but he says lives were at stake, and he knew he would sense for the Martian Manhunter. And besides, the money was going to a restoration fund for an orphanage where Mirror Master had grown up. So, Batman, of course, is always countering. So he is truly the most dangerous individual in the DC universe. So they have 3 minutes. And so we get our three heroes here arrive into what they think is Earth, but turns out it is an Earth, but not theirs. And here's a fire pit from Apocalypse. The dark side has arrived. So we're going to conclude. This video is going to be much longer than I really want, but Grant Morrison really packs a lot. So like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I'll be posting another video with the last 2 parts.